Lena is, but they may want the room. Good evening and welcome to the planning board meeting of Tuesday, March 6th. These meetings are recorded. I'll take a motion for the minutes.
I'll move.
Motion by John, seconded by Joe. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor? Babe, you weren't here, right?
Yeah, was I?
No. So 3 in favor, 1 abstention. There are no 81Ps. We're to go slightly out of order. We're gonna take, Joe, if you don't mind doing 8 and 4, please. 8 and 4. Mike has a pressing issue.
We'll start with the proposed bonds for Industrial Road earth removal, Cedar Brook LLC, which I believe is this drawing in the,
Yeah, the ZBA decision and his spreadsheet are paperclipped together.
yep,
And then there's a couple of prints of the area to be loaned and sealed. And there's a overall map up on the board here.
so effectively the zoning board, I guess you could say approved it, subject to us approving it, which is a little,
Right, yeah.
which is a little weird, but seeing how they're the approving body, but.
On behalf of the applicant, Joseph Antonolis, I actually found it a bit confusing in the regulations, for as long as we're talking about it, that you go into the zoning board with a bond. And my experience has always been that you get a bond approved by the permit issuing authority. So I presume that the better way to do it was to have it referred back to the planning board for the purpose of determining an amount, because it seems to be more within your jurisdiction. I didn't mean to rewrite the bylaw, but that's kind of the way I interpreted it. So it ended up that way at my suggestion to the zoning board.
So it's all your fault.
Yeah, so I'm just
It's approved subject to.
adding more power to your board.
subject to the planning board setting up.
Well, that only depends on how they interpret it the next time around. I'm not sure there's gonna be any consistency with the matter, but we may not have it again,
Oh.
so we may not have to worry about it.
Oh, I know. You have to send them out, send it?
Yeah, we did.
With that, I'll turn over to Mike, because I believe you had done the estimate.
Yes. Received a plan today and not discussing it a whole lot with the planning board. I evaluated it. My approach was to loam and seed the lower portion of the site, essentially 50 feet parallel to the wetland line. Also, another portion of the estimate is based on constructing the temporary sediment basin number 7 that's shown on the plan. So with those volumes, I come up with $36,190 for the bond amount.
Anybody on the board have any questions? Applicant have any
It's
questions?
acceptable to the applicant. The applicant will make a determination as the best way to provide surety, either by a passbook or a bond or some other form that this board has used, but obviously that'll be approved here also. But most likely will be a passbook. And I could also say that, you know, to the extent that this particular parcel becomes subject to site plan review because we find a pad user, then obviously what we would do is incorporate those reclamation parts into the site plan, but leave the bond there until such time as it's done. So it may be that there's a building up before we get to all of that, but that will certainly be back in front of you as part of the site review process, something that you're familiar with in these circumstances.
We'd be approving the amount only tonight.
Not hearing any other questions, do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion, we approve the bond amount of $36,190.
Yep. Motion to set the bond for the excavation at $36,190,000. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by John. Any further discussion? Hearing not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 4, 1 abstention. And we have the endorsement of the amended site plan. You said you wanted me to do 4, correct, Pat?
Yes, please.
Endorsement of the amended site plan for 2 to 4 Beach Street, Cuello de Aco.
This is just to vote signing the Mylar. We've got several Mylars here to sign, so just to vote to endorse.
Do we have to, would they just come in today from, based on the
No, they made all the changes.
Yeah.
And submitted to Mylar, yeah, so we're ready to go. I just saved it for tonight, so everybody's here.
I'll entertain a motion to sign the Mylars for the previously approved site plan.
I'll move.
Motion by Lena, second. Seconded by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 4, 1 abstention.
Thank you.
So what'd you, oh, yeah, it's actually number 5.
I'm number 5.
He's number 5, that's all right. Do it again for the next one.
Only because you were very polite, Joe.
Besides number 3
So,
isn't here
excuse me,
yet.
I'm back in, okay? I have an endorsement of the amended site plan for 21, 23, and 27 West Street. This was for the inclusion of the relocation of the dumpster.
Remove the dumpster and put on Ts on the drainage points.
Do I have a motion to sign the amended site plan for 21, 23, and 27 West Street? Motion by John, seconded by Babe. Any further discussion? Here or not, all in favor, opposed, unanimous. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, good night.
Good
Number 3, we have an amended site plan for 612 Industrial Road.
He's not here yet.
Who, the applicant?
Yep.
All right, we'll skip over that for a second.
So,
We have a endorsed PRD Mylar for Bear Hill Village Planned Residential Development. I have a motion for the PRD endorsement signing of the Mylar. Motion by Joe, seconded by Lena. This is gonna be the PRD Bear Hill Village, number 6. Joe made the motion, Lena did the second. Any discussion? Hearing not, all in favor?
Aye.
1 abstention, okay. 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Babe, he missed a meeting, so he had to.
I missed one meeting.
Yep. Let's not rub it in, I know, I try to do it quick. Let me just continue. Additionally, we have a conditional approval contract for Bear Hill Village, Casey Drive definitive plan. No, we don't?
we have the Mylar, but he didn't submit the Form E.
Oh,
So
so
we
that's
can't
off?
do that. Yep, that's off, continue.
Oh, number 6
Joe,
is
Joe
out.
did number 6, the Bear Hill Village Plan Residential Development.
Joe did
Oh,
8.
Joe did, I'm sorry, Joe did number
4 and
5. 5.
5 and 8.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're going to take a moment to sign the Mylars to give the amended site plan of 612 Industrial Road additional moments to arrive here at the meeting.
All right.
Everyone okay with that?
Yeah, why not? I got your
Which one are you
pen.
setting up first, Larry?
Well, since we can't.
Where the hell are we gonna put it?
We only need your signature.
Yeah, you only need yours, they're all amended.
Oh, I was hoping you could get to,
No, you want me to do?
I was hoping you were gonna do number
Yeah,
4.
I can do 4.
He's coming now.
Number 4 is the
Oh,
Beach
here
Street.
they are,
Oh,
waiting for you.
Well, they're gonna have to wait. No, that's fine, put it here. No, that's fine, he's gonna have to wait now.
You can still got it set up anyway.
Oh, I know.
PRD, so.
I need
Yeah,
your
everybody
pen.
can see, everybody can sign this one.
Sign.
Everyone signs this one?
No,
Number 5, and he did number 8.
Okay, that's it?
Number 5 and number 8, yes. Everyone signs, right?
you can if you want, you don't have to.
Oh,
Because you signed the decision, so
all right.
you can just sign that. That's it, just the.
Just the top one? Gee, that was simple. That was kinda uneventful, Larry.
I know it was last minute,
Jeez.
that's all. Oh,
You got the elastic,
I don't know, somewhere.
okay.
you don't need any more shots, so you can't get another one?
Up to Joseph.
How much?
Those are the only 2?
Oh,
That one, the other one now acts up a little bit now.
oh, so can you get a plug in there?
Yeah.
You got one for me to sign, Larry?
No, I signed it.
Oh, you signed it? Okay.
You working? God bless you.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the opportunity to set up, but as you do so,
I will go fast.
that's fine, because I'm gonna
Wanted me to
read the paperwork that I have associated with it.
end next week or something.
All right, we're back on for number 3.
Go to Framingham
The applicant requests amended site plan approval to allow for a change of use and a further modification of parking to the subject premises. The proposal is to relocate Annixter from Newcastle, Delaware to Milford, Mass. This will include inventory operations and sales teams supporting the utility customers in the northeast region. Annixter will occupy the westerly 102,000 square foot of the existing building. The existing parking and circulation configuration is to be altered in the area adjacent to the southwest corner of the building to accommodate a 13,000 square foot fenced-in outside storage yard for equipment and materials. The new configuration eliminates 18 parking spaces and 8,500 square feet of landscape lawn area and creates a one-way exit lane from the existing parking area located along the west side of the building. This will be in addition to the expansion approval in 2016. All applicable zoning requirements appear to be met. Therefore, Larry is recommending approval of the amended site plan. From Mike Dean. The only comment is that the proposed outdoor storage area fencing creates a drive aisle that is only 14 foot in width. Typically, drive aisle access lanes are a minimum of 18 feet. From the Highway Department, he has no comments. From the Fire Department, they have no concerns. And that's it. So, sir,
Good evening.
just identify your name and your company. And if you have a business card, you can give it to Karen, because it'll be easier, if you don't mind, and then you're free to speak.
Very good. Peter Bemis, Engineering and Design Consultant, and I'm sorry for being late. Someone decided to have an accident on our highway here, and it was difficult getting here. 12-sheet set. Again, Peter Bemis, Engineering and Design Consultants, here on behalf of Annixter. As Larry had said, Annixter currently has their facility that serves the eastern seaboard here from Delaware, and they're coming to Milford. They like this location. They very much want to be here. Annixter is an $8 billion company, and they'll have about $100 million worth of inventory at this site to serve the local demand. Some of the companies are National Grid, Com Edison, Hudson Gas and Electric, Eversource, and they provide transformers, wire, cable, hardware, safety equipment, lighting. For the Milford facility, the intent of this is to provide for those service providers in their local communities. They would have 31 employees in the building, 15 warehouse, drivers, sales, and support staff. So, you folks are familiar with this project. A couple of years ago, I was before you for the Amazon facility. And Amazon, we thought, was going to take the whole building. They decided not to. But Annixter, equal corporate partner, I would say. Good investment being made here for Milford. Annixter has some source needs. Again, I won't go through the whole set of plans, but there's a full set, as we had given you back when we did the project for Amazon. So there's demolition plans, there's preparation plans in order to put the parking spaces into play. The main differences are that in order to support the Annixter program, we have to do work at this southwest corner of the building. Different than what we had before. That was going to just be an advanced parking area. This is where they need to put storage of some of these materials for the utility companies that I had mentioned. And what Mr. Dean had mentioned in his commentary was this driveway. That's a one-way driveway. We do not want anyone entering in that direction, so we're making it so that they will not go in that direction. This is strictly an exit. So it would be just people who come in to go through the service area here and drive their vehicles through that area. There's not a truck turning movement. It is strictly for pedestrian coming into the building and then leaving with their vehicle and coming out in this direction. So that's why that is set up this way. And this is where that storage area is going to be located. Requisite details in order to construct the project. And you can see in this area, that is a fenced-in location area here. And we're just reconfiguring that portion of the site. Existing parking areas will stay just the way they are in that area. The other important aspect of this was that we had proposed with you when we did the Amazon project, that parking to the south. That parking area stays exactly the same. Now, one thing that we have eliminated was we had a parking area here in the northeast. Because Amazon's not taking the building, we don't have that as much parking demand as we would have with Annixter taking the building. They're using it more for warehousing component to store their equipment. So we do not need that parking, and we've reallocated the parking spaces. We have shown that we can get those parking spaces back as a reserve area, and we also had another alternative reserve area for those that were displaced here. So we keep the same number of parking spaces. We comply with zoning in the same manner as we did back when we did Amazon. We're just putting in the parking spaces that we know we need for the program. I will flip back. There is one more future space, because there is one tenant area that's still going to be available in the building. It was identified as future. That is a warehouse component. So if someone comes along and wishes to take just warehousing component, then they would be able to fill that in. The building would be 100% occupied. So that's my presentation. I look forward to your support. Annixter is anxious to be here. They have demolition plans and building program that they wish to advance with building department immediately.
Could you just back up for a second?
Sure.
Can you just demonstrate the one-way again? What were you referring to?
Yes, right here. So the parking fields are here. So you come in off of Industrial Drive here, and you come into the parking area. Today, you would go straight, and there'd be two-way travel. So you could come in, you could come out. So all we're saying is that if you enter this parking lot, you can go back out this way. That's still an option. We just don't want people entering the parking lot from this end of the site, nor would they. That would be someone coming back from the warehouse component and coming around. All they have to do is just come back to here and come in. We're just gonna make this a one-way exit out only. Because we
And you
don't want
exit, you
anyone
go
in.
where?
Joe, that's right.
You come back into the roadway system and leave. You can either go south or you can go north. No restriction in that regard. We just don't want anyone entering that parking field from this direction.
Driveway that they have.
Okay.
The aerial's toward the back of your packet, but I told you, they're folding it out. so you can see.
I get that.
Oh, okay.
It goes back.
Do you
into
see it
there.
today, in today's configuration?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
I do, because and I'm glad you showed the aerial, because I wasn't picking up.
All right, sorry about that.
No.
The gray here is, because that's a grassed area
Because let me
today.
just be the very first one to tell you, and I'm not really surprised by this, but I will say it, that if they were just forced to come and go around the entire building, no, the opposite way.
Oh.
Which is at first what I thought you were suggesting.
No, I would not.
I was going to be very clear to tell you that Amazon are not good neighbors at all.
Well, I'm sorry about
And their
that.
drivers
The drivers.
are not ones that understand the concept of stop signs or blocking the roadway, which they think is an extension of their driveway, even though it says commercial way on it. So
Okay.
if that was your plan, I was gonna tell you, no way.
Okay.
Because it's not going to work.
But I think I hear you loud and clear, and I'll pass your message
Yeah, well,
along
you can pass
because,
it on to the cows come home, because they put
All right.
stop signs and they're not stopping. And it's more than frustrating when they come the commercial way and they decide that they want to park their vans on commercial way and not move out of the way so they can impede traffic. It's real enjoyable.
all right, well, I'll
Great
see,
neighbors.
I'll see what we can do, because we want to be good neighbors, and
Well, they haven't been.
And I
I'm
recall
here to
the-
tell you, and I have no shame in telling you.
Okay.
that they have not been good neighbors.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I brought it up multiple times with Mike and Larry. This is not
Oh,
something
okay.
that just came out tonight. This is
I
something that I've been
wasn't
brought
aware
up
of
to
that.
both of them multiple times, okay?
all right, well, I did
You
make the
don't drive the
present.
trucks, and I appreciate that. And I'm not taking my frustration out exactly
No.
to you, but clearly, they, you know.
I can bring your message home, and I will see to it that we at least have some response to you that's appropriate. I will respond back through Larry, and hopefully it's
I
appropriate.
wish Mike Dean was still here, because he even went up there and watched them.
Okay,
So it's not like I'm imagining things. It's just, it's awful what they did up there.
That's, yeah.
But
Well-
best of luck to you and these
okay,
people.
well, I'll work
Any
to-
comments,
towards it.
questions from the board?
No.
The future space, you've included parking for warehouse
sir.
in there already, so it meets everything for
Yes,
warehousing.
we're putting in enough parking to support all of this and then
As a
some.
warehouse, so if the
We-
change of use, then you'd come back.
Exactly.
Okay, just so I understand.
good.
But this approval, if that new use comes in as warehouse.
Right.
it wouldn't need to come
Yes,
back.
I understand that, I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure what the calculation included as the base.
Are you gonna have storage in the building as well as?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, significant.
Are you gonna have large items in the store, that store?
Yes,
outside
and
storage?
probably your high value items. I mean, they have some very expensive wires and security systems that they provide to some of these user groups. That handout I gave you, they're a
Sure, it's
multifaceted company.
Precious metals
They-
of sorts.
Right, well,
Which have a high scrap value.
yeah. Yeah, well, they high product value too, sure.
Yeah, but those who are gonna take it are only gonna scrap it, so let's be frank.
Which is
Let's be
crazy,
frank,
yes,
yeah.
you're right, though. People do take a copper gutter, and then they just take it and scrap it. when-
Well, they're
when
not
you
taking
think
it for their house.
No, no. But it's a shame. I've
poor
seen
lady
them
in
come off
Hopedale
of
took the
beautiful
doors.
homes
She
and they
wasn't putting
steal the
them at her
gutters. And then they just scrap it, at pennies on the dollar for the gutter, but.
Any other questions from the board? Hearing none. Pleasure of the board.
Make a motion, we sign the amended site plan.
Make a motion from Joe to approve the amended site plan. Second from John. Any further discussion? Hearing not. All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you
Unanimous.
very
Best
much.
of luck to you, sir.
Thank you. I did bring my Mylar, Mr. Chairman.
Size of just the chairman?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
that. I'm just kidding. Just couldn't help myself. I was only kidding.
I'm gonna get back up to the polls. I'm the warden up at. Oh, yeah?
Just a top.
I took my lunch
You'll
hour.
date it?
I'll do that for you, sir.
Thank you.
Where are you?
Oh, so,
Is this your
Where are you,
pen?
Italian dress?
I think it writes.
wow.
I assumed it was his.
So,
I think so.
Hey, if you
I
wait a
took my
little.
supper hour to come down here.
Wait till 8, they'll be.
Any other business?
Who will be?
Polls close at 8.
And I gotta go up there because I'm the warden. I've been working there.
Take a
all
motion
day.
to adjourn. A motion by Lena, seconded by John.
All right.
Discussion on the motion, hearing not. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you and have a good night.
Go vote.